Mm-mm-mm. Yay! Got people already in the waiting room and whatnot. Y'all, thank y'all so much for tuning in. Welcome to another episode of Waving the Red Flag. Waving the red flag with your favorite self-aware narcissist, Lee Hammock. What is going on, beautiful people? Like, seriously, super thankful for y'all being here today on this beautiful Thursday. Joining us on a Thursday evening. You know, super thankful. I used to club on Thursday. Thursday night used to be college night back in my younger, more sprite, unaware narcissist days. But yeah, welcome to the Waving the Red Flag. I am Lee Hammock, diagnosed self-aware narcissist. Super shout out to my co-host and my producer, Miss Jessica. Thank you for setting all this up.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show, everybody. Miss Jessica Montez, I'll let you do your own introduction. You want to?
I'm Jessica, and I'm a victim of nurses. No,
You're a
I
thriver.
I'm a thriver.
You're a thriver.
I've been in a recent narcissistic covert, who I believe is a malignant covert narcissistic abusive relationship, and so I can relate and understand
Yeah.
everything.
We are super thankful for Jessica, y'all. Shout out to Jessica for helping me set all this up. It's kind of like, I don't know, it's like the spirits brought us together, y'all. Seriously. I was like, I want to do a YouTube show. And then I literally just like refreshed my my Instagram inbox. Like, hey, you thought about a YouTube show? Like, you know what? I was. that is what we call a green flag. That's
Yes.
the green flag of faith right there, y'all. um, super thankful for Jessica, y'all. Seriously, seriously, seriously. If
And
y'all
I
don't know, today's episode is about love bombing from narcissists and toxic people. Love bombing. I know a lot of people hear about the love bombing idealization phase of a toxic relationship with a narcissistic person. Y'all, it's the first stage. Is what I consider. Um, to me, is the second stage. The first stage is what I consider choosing, the choosing phase. They choose you. They pick you. And then stage two is the love bombing idealization phase. You have to be chosen to be love bombed. Like, everybody doesn't get a love bomb. It's not like Oprah. You get a love bomb. You get a love bomb. Everybody doesn't get love bomb, y'all. But most people are going to be love bomb. But yeah, this is how it goes to y'all. So the first thing we're gonna do today, y'all, I'm super thankful for everybody joining in. The first thing, like, if y'all want to send in a story, like for next week's show, you can send it into waving the red flag show at gmail.com. You can email it to us, or you can shoot a voicemail to us as well at 855-432-5637. We'll post it later on. Don't panic, y'all. Do not panic. They're like,
oh, wait, Lee, the number is different down there.
oh, it's the same. That works too. That works too.
Okay.
Yeah, the 855 number is the Healness. This is the Healness
Okay.
numerically. Yeah, I memorized it. I don't know how I remember. I have an engineering degree. Y'all remember numbers. They stick. Um, but yeah, y'all. So the first thing we're gonna do today, y'all, is story. Oh no, we're gonna play a video, the video of the week, the love bombing video of the week first, and then we're gonna get into story time. All right.
Yes. Okay, here we go. This is a video just to explain a little bit more about love bombing.
So let's talk about love bombing in a toxic relationship with a narcissist or a toxic person. And of course, if you're new here, I'm a narcissist. I actually have narcissistic personality disorder. So during the love bombing stage, y'all, a lot of narcissists and toxic people feel like they are absolutely in love with you. Like me personally, I feel like you're the one for me. I feel like if you're a believer, you are created from my rib. Like, you are the one for me. I love you. I care about you, and I want you to feel the exact same way about me that I feel about you. So I go above and beyond to get you to feel this way. I start doing things that I might not like to do to get you to fall in love with me. Like, I study you, I analyze you, I give you everything that you want and need. I become whoever I feel like I need to get you to feel for me the way I feel for you. I want you to love me because I love you, right? Like, you are. Yeah, I love you. I want you to love me because I love you, right? That's what love bombing is all about. It's a bombing of love. The love explodes on top of you. um, yeah, the love just blows up on top of you, y'all. But God's favorite. Oh, so girl, how you doing? The love bombing stage seems so real. Yes, because it feels real. Not only does the love bombing stage feel real to y'all, most times, well, not most times, a lot of times it feels real to the narcissistic person as well, because they have to pick you to be love bombed. So, yeah, I appreciate y'all. So, April, what's going on? The next thing we're gonna do, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed a video. If you don't follow me on TikTok or Instagram, make sure you follow me on TikTok and Instagram. The next thing we're gonna do is story time. We have a love bombing story. So I'm gonna read this story that's sent in from a subscriber, follower, or whatnot. And it's going to be, I want to say, can I use the word good? It's a good story. It's a powerful story. It's an empowering story to help y'all understand that, like, it's not the end. You see what I'm saying? Even though you get love bomb, it's not the end of your life. It's not the end of the world and whatnot. So if y'all ready for the story, you have to type in love bombing into the chat. You can read. You can also read along with us as well, y'all. Mm, 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 mm. So I'm going to give my breakdown during the love bomb. I got my flags right here. So if y'all see a flag pop up, y'all know if I'm red flagging it, watch out for it. Just from my perspective.
And feel free to put your opinion in there too, if you think
Oh
it's
yeah.
throw your red flag in.
Yeah, throw your red flag in the chats, y'all. Any kind of super chats, anything y'all do is truly appreciated. Help support the channel and whatnot. They'd be super appreciated as well. The love bombing. So here we go. Story time, y'all. The love bombing stage lasted a couple of months. He was very romantic. He showed up at my house with a bouquet of flowers. Yeah, so I don't know. So I know not all narcissists are men, right? But like for the women out there who deal with narcissistic men, why do flowers work? Well, I just feel like flowers. Why do flowers work for everything? I just feel like flowers flowers. Do they provide a healing ointment, or is it a smell? What is it that flowers just get you to fall for them? You see what I'm saying? Just in that space right there. So he showed up my house with a bouquet of flowers. He would take me away to hotels on the weekend. I have a son from a previous relationship, so he would go out of his way to spend time with him. Take him to the movies and bring him gifts home. So in this space right here, y'all, I'm gonna do a longer video on this very, very soon. But you get a lot of narcissistic people that kind of target single parents because they feel like they need them. They feel like single parents sometimes are missing something in their lives, so they try to interject themselves into that person's life. Like, hey, look, I'm here not only for you, but I also love your kid too. I'm here for your kid. You need me. You want me, right? Nobody else is going to want you because you have a kid. And that's what happens a lot of times in society as well, y'all, that like a lot of narcissistic people will try to convince you that because you have a kid, somehow, some way, shape, or form, your value has been lowered. Your value has been lowered. They are beautiful. Yeah, but you are beautiful too. I just feel like, y'all, you yourself are a beautiful flower. Just treat it that way. But yeah, watch out, single parents. Watch out for toxic narcissistic people because they will do that. They'll love bomb. Not only do they love bomb you, they will love bomb your kids as well. So your kids will let's say I'm love bombing you. It's like, hey mom, is Mr. Lee? Is your friend Mr. Lee coming back around this weekend? We like Mr. Lee. He bought us a PlayStation 5. He bought us some V-Bucks or some Robux, some Minecraft bucks, whatever you call them, y'all. Whatever buck they buying bucks for your kids too. So y'all, they buying bucks and stuff for your kids as well. So it's not just you to get love bomb, it's your kids as well. Because they feel like they can attach to your kids and your family, they're in there easier. So back to it. He would oh goodness gracious, he would turn on salsa, take me and start dancing with me. He would just want to be with me all the time and tell me all these intense, sweet things and talk about the future. Future, like, yeah, I'm future faking, future. If you just meet somebody and they're talking about things 6 months, 3 months, 12 months in advance, they could be future faking, y'all. They're trying to make it seem like, oh, they're trying to make you trust them, trust the fact that they're going to be around for an extended period of time. But hey, look, I'm telling you about the future. I'm making future plans with you. So I'll be around for a longer time. It seems like this, right? It seems green flaggy, but it very well could be red flaggy because they're trying to keep you around. They're trying to make it seem like I want you to trust the fact that I'm not just going to, hit it and quit it or put it on you and dip on you. You know what I'm saying? So that happens all the time as well, just in that space. So be very wary of that happening because they will, like I said, they'll do that type of stuff. They'll just like, hey, in the future, like, you know what? I've been looking for a +1 for my best friend's wedding in 7 months. You want to be it? You see what I'm saying? And they just met you on Tinder, or something like that. So be very wary of that. Just his intensity makes sense. You see how intense it is. Love bombing is intense. Is it love bombing or real love? Love bombing is intense and cannot be sustained. Ask yourself this question right here, y'all. Is this sustainable? And can I live without this? Intensity, intensity is going to wear off, y'all. It's just like a neutron. It's like a star exploding in the universe. Like it's going to the power of that star at first is going to be super intense. Or a bomb exploding. A bomb exploding is going to be super intense. Even a nuclear bomb is going to be super intense at first, right? But eventually the intensity is going to wear down. So ask yourself, is this consistent? Is this going to can this be consistent? Is the intensity consistent? Flowers all the time, poems, doing this stuff for my kid, all this stuff. Is it consistent? Is it possible to be sustainable with this stuff right here? Like the salsa dancing, you know what I mean? Hips get old, y'all. Hips get old. He just want to be with me all the time, tell me all these sweet things, and talk about the future. Just his intensity. I had never been with someone like that. He was so passionate, and when I spoke, he was so interested in what I had to say. They listen, y'all. They put their listening ears on. Oh goodness gracious, he wanted to move things very fast. From our first date, he already told y'all. Listen to this right here. From our first date, he already told me he wanted me to take out my IUD, and that he was happy he was in a relationship with me. So y'all, again, this is being consistent with the future faking. He's trying to convince you that he's going to be there for a long time. Like, take out your IUD. I want to have a baby. I know you probably don't even know my last name or my origins, but I want you to remove the IUD. Have a baby with me. You see what I'm saying? That's super. Like, that's not even little, y'all. That's not little. That's not little red flag. That's big. That's big. That's big daddy. That's big daddy, big mama, big person. Whatever you identify as. Big person. That's super red flag. Take out your IUD right now. I just met you, but like, how did it come up in the like? Do you bring up the IUD of a coffee? How did it come up? Like, seriously. A lot of people close to me were shocked and a bit upset with me for moving so fast. Yeah, everybody in your life is not hating on you. I just feel like, just understand, like, if there's a consensus in your life, like, hey, Jessica, you moving too fast. Like, you bought IUD and coffee. This don't mix. You see what I'm saying? Slow down. Like, love bombing is fast and intense. Slow down. You say bombs explode quickly. You hit that detonator and they blow up. Slow down, y'all. Take your time. Seriously. Babies, movies, like, your family's like, oh, everybody's not hating on you. I know everybody just is so conditioned they feel like people are hating on you, but everybody's not hating on you. Seriously. When we first met, he said he didn't talk to his ex-girlfriend, but I ended up finding out a few months later that he was actually living with her and they were engaged. Yikes. So do I even need to pick up the red flag right there? Just like, that goes without saying. Like, the lie, when your relationship is built on a foundation of lies, style, it's like you put the Eiffel Tower on toothpicks. How much do you trust the Eiffel Tower to sit up on toothpicks, y'all? Seriously. You know what I mean? In this space right here, he told me he didn't talk to his ex-girlfriend, but they live together and they're actually engaged. They didn't break off the engagement, but you see what I'm saying? I remember 5 months after we were dating, things were really starting to be off. He ended up moving in 5 months, super quick and fast. He ended up moving in, but if we got in a fight, he would go stay at her place for a day or more. So he would just go back home. You know what I'm saying? If y'all got into a fight, he would go back home. That's him. Like, at any time, this is how some narcissistic people will condition you not to speak up, because they know, like, hey, if you argue with me, I'm gonna go back to my fiance. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go back to her. So you can condition not to bring things up. That sucks, y'all. Finally, just before our first child was born, he stopped doing that. So, first child. So there's an indication there's more to come, y'all. The physical abuse started. I might just get that part already down. The physical abuse started when I first moved in with him. So yeah, y'all. So these are the times when the love bombing stops. When the second after you say I love you, when you move in, and also, like, when you have a baby. Like, so everything has happened in this situation already quickly in 5 months. You move in together, you find out he's engaged to somebody else. He talks about taking the IUD out, and physical abuse already. Like, yo, this That's super red flaggy right there. Because like once they feel like they have you trapped, they become their real selves. Like it's like they seriously, it's like they're wearing this red flag mask. And once the baby gets involved, it's kind of like they start peeling it off, like, "Yeah," and they take it off, like hello Clarice type stuff right there, hello Clarice vibes. Um, our first daughter was born. After our first daughter was born, he started an affair with the mother of one of my son's friends. How evil is that, y'all? How evil? Like y'all gotta watch it. I don't. With the mother of one of my son's friends. So her oldest son, he started an affair with her. She was older but very rich, and I know he was getting money from her because all of a sudden he was getting all this money out of nowhere. He quit his job, but somehow was still getting money. So he was a sugar baby. Like he was literally a sugar baby. You had a man that was a sugar baby in this situation right here, y'all. Yeah, yes, more than one child. There's more to come, y'all. But like he was a sugar baby. Like he's sleeping with a rich married woman that's the mother of one of his son's friends. That's y'all. There's not another word you can use to describe this other than evil. You know, really. I know. Everybody thinks narcissists just go for younger people. That's not always true, y'all. Some narcissists go for older people because they feel like older people just know what they want. um, he has quit his job. Like I knew what was going on, but I was too in love to leave. Y'all, love blinds. You see what I'm saying? And I also don't think that was love. Just me personally, y'all. I don't think this is love. I think this is codependency and addiction right here, obsession, because love don't hurt like this. You see him, yeah. You see all the lies from the beginning. He's going back and forth between you and his ex fiance, him and his ex girlfriend. He's moving back and forth. Now he started an affair with this other person. So now he thinks it's okay to keep doing what he does. Now he's established like, hey, I'm going to do what I want to do because I feel like this is okay. Then he says, I got pregnant a second time and lost the baby. And when I was in the hospital, I called him to comfort me. He told me I was making it all up and I ended up dealing with it on my own. How evil is that, y'all? Seriously, left her in the hospital by herself to deal with a miscarriage. Evil. While he's doing God knows what. Narcissistic people think your emotions and your situations are an inconvenience to them. Then next thing, I got pregnant shortly after that, and we had our second child. So addiction, right back into it. Another baby. I feel like I can kind of tell this person right here is trying to get him to see her worth. She's trying to establish her worth. Hey, look, I put up with all this. I had another baby by you, so love me. And they just don't love you because you do that right there. They just feel like that just entrenches you more into the relationship. He was still seeing this other woman, the older woman, but he was telling me it was only friends, and I believed him. So right here, again, y'all, I don't think she believed him because he knew that she knew earlier that he was sleeping with her and getting money from her. So I don't think she believed him. I feel like she convinced herself that he was telling the truth. I don't think she necessarily believed him. I later found out he was trying to get me pregnant. His new affair went on a trip with her husband. So she's married too. This older woman is married too. And he was mad at her. So he told me he would knock me up. So he told her straight up, like, this girl I'm sleeping with went on the trip with her husband. So I'm gonna get you pregnant to get her mad. So he's trying to make her mad. Say, because you left, I got my wife pregnant, my girlfriend pregnant. And then she said, I did get pregnant again. And I found out about his affair shortly after our third child was born. I just feel like, again, I feel like the affair was already known. At this point, I started my plan to leave. He somehow hacked she started her plan to leave, which you should like. Everybody's situation is different, y'all. So sometimes you have to make a plan to leave because of your safety. Safety first. If you plan on leaving a narcissist, type of relationship, whatever, safety comes first, y'all. Seriously. But he hacked her phone and found out her plans. I ended up going to my mom's with my two kids, and I told her I had to leave that because he knew what was going on. I went back home, packed my lunch, whatever I could in a suitcase, and left the house to a shelter. A few days later, I got there. And I found out I was pregnant with our fourth child. Boy, God, yeah, I know y'all. Some of y'all believe in God. God works in mysterious ways, y'all. I was there with 3 kids plus pregnant for 4 months, and then I got housing. I ended up with custody of the kids, but he still refuses to pay support, and I take care of 5 kids, mostly on my own. For now, I'm enjoying being safe for my kids and finding myself again because I was empty at the end. Survival mode and doing the things I used to love. Yeah. So yeah, that's the end of that story right there. But you can see in that space right there, when you get addicted to narcissistic people, toxic people, like this happens, y'all. They put you through the ringer, and you try to prove your self worth. You try to prove how much you're worth, how much you're worth to this person, and like that you will deal with anything, that you want to be the ride or die for this person, and it never ends up being enough. Like seriously, it never ends up being enough. They take it for granted. They use you, they abuse you, and then they keep it moving. You know, they keep doing the same things over and over again because now they've established that it's okay in this situation. And he feels like, and probably also in his mind, he probably thinks that like, hey, look, because you stayed with me through this, like you have 4 or 5 kids now. Like who else is gonna want you? He probably gonna plant that seed and try to water it. It's just, hey, you got all these kids. Nobody else is gonna want you except for me. And if you want to be with me, here's my guidelines. Here's my rules. So in this situation, y'all, you have to empower yourself to keep it moving forward. Because if you don't, I promise you, it gets super toxic, it gets super dangerous, and you also feel like you ruin your life in this situation as well. Yeah. So yeah, I pray for this woman. I hope she stays strong. And if you don't take this man to court for child support, he's not gonna pay that. I promise you he's not. He's gonna use that as a negotiate. He's gonna use that as a tool to try to get you to come back home. If it's so hard, come home. You know. So that's that really does suck, y'all. I'm sorry to hear that for that woman. But she escaped. She's going to be thriving soon. She escaped. She's going to be
Yeah.
thriving soon. And just
I mean, sounds better. It's getting better already. She says she's
yeah, it sounds like getting better already for her because she's doing things that she used to love. She says she's doing things that she used to love to do because that empowers you. Because you get in a relationship with narcissistic people, like that makes you feel like you lose your identity. You really, really do. You know, you don't know who you are. You don't know what you like to do anymore. You lose who you are. You know, integration.
well.
25K behind. Yikes.
Well, so next we have our voicemail questions that came in, and thank you guys so much. We got so many messages, and I wish I could play them all, but I'm going to try my best to get to as many as I can most shows. So here's our first question.
So my situation is my boyfriend will tell me everything I want to hear, jump through all these hoops to be with me, try so hard for about a week, and then he'll make up something in his head and walk out on me, and I'll beg and cry. Well, I've stopped begging and crying and just let him go. And no matter what, after he leaves and walks out and says goodbye to me, a few days later, he'll send a message like, why did you play me? Why do you always play games? Or then he'll call and I have his number blocked. Or then he'll send another message via email of a sad song. Or he'll send another message like, I can't believe you've already found someone and moved on. None of which I'm doing. So I don't understand what he's wanting because he had me, he fully had me, and then he throws it all away, and then he sends me things trying to make me feel bad like I ended it.
So me personally, I don't, of course, red flags right there. I don't think he thinks he's on. I don't think he thinks he's throwing it away because he keeps coming back. You see what I'm saying? If he keeps coming back and you entertain him, he thinks you're okay with his behaviors. That's just point blank period. It's just like, okay, I can leave and come back. I can leave and come back. I can do this and come back. She's okay with what I do to her. And this is also another example that love bombing just doesn't happen at the beginning of relationships. They can do like intermediate love bombs as well. I call them love pops. It's not as intense as the initial love bombing phase, but it blows up enough just to get you to remember the love bombing phase. It's kind of like, hollow points. You mean like a bomb with some extra shrapnel or something like that hits you. It's just like it makes you remember the good times from the beginning. Because if he keeps coming back and just saying what he needs to say and doing what he needs to do and leaving again, that means he's just coming back, clapping the cheeks, doing whatever he does, and then and then he leaves out. He comes back, claps cheeks, does whatever, then he just disappears on you, and then clapping cheeks, clapping cheeks. He does it again and again and again. You know what I mean? And that doesn't stop until you stop it. His goal is to keep you around long enough to find somebody else to permanently replace you with, because the indication at the end when he says, "So you found someone and moved on," that's projection. He's trying to find somebody else to move on. It's not working. So he comes back to you so he can't be by himself. He's trying to find a permanent replacement for you. So if you don't cut that off, you're going to be doing this for a long time. You might end up with a baby. So yikes. Don't do that. Don't do that.
I want to let you guys know too, go ahead and put your questions for Lee in the comments and I'll save them for the rapid questions at the end. I'll try to grab as many as we can. So just as a reminder. So here's another question, another voicemail.
I have a boyfriend. He's very jealous and insecure. And he's been in several relationships where I guess women have cheated on him. With him and I, he watches everything I do or any male that I come in contact with, no matter how long I've known them, or if we know them together, because we know a lot of the same people. So it's just the fact of any male. It can even be relatives, because you don't have any trust, and it's like you shouldn't be in a relationship with anybody if you don't have trust. That's what I wanted to call in and say, and I'm just been trying to deal with, how to deal with, being in a relationship with a narcissistic person.
So being in a relationship with a person like that, a narcissistic person that doesn't trust you, even around your male family members, doesn't normally work very long term, y'all, because they'll drive you crazy. Like, it'll get to the point where you feel like the only safe place for you to be is at home with your phone turned off, like with no Wi-Fi on, like disconnected from the world, everything on airplane mode. You feel like you have to be disconnected from the world, and that still won't be enough for a person like this. So I also think when people just say everybody's cheated on me, I always think they're lying. He could be telling the truth, but I always think people in that situation are like, oh, my ex cheated on me. I'm just like, I always feel like they are lying for something. I just feel like they are always lying. I just feel like everybody's cheated on you. Cool. I get that. That would suck if everybody has cheated on you. But it just seems like you projecting it and you cheating on everybody else. So you insecure that you think it's going to happen to you. You think that this person, like this cheating stuff that you've been doing to everybody else, you think that that's going to happen to you. So it's super weird. It's like he can't trust himself around other women, so he doesn't trust you around other men. And the only way that works out, if somehow, some way, shape, or form, he goes to therapy and just deals with these insecurity issues that he probably is not willing to deal with. Honestly, it doesn't sound like he would rather just say, "Hey, sit your ass in the house and just be you. Don't go around your brother or your dad or some weirdo stuff like that," because that can be really, really just it can be a lot, y'all. Seriously,
Is
in
part
that
of it
situation.
because they're telling her to get away from him, maybe? Like they're onto him?
Also, yeah, that could be a part of it as well. Like he's worried about people who are like him, not necessarily like him, like toxic wise, but he's worried about like other men telling you just like, hey, look, every man I met in my life that says stuff like that is toxic as hell. You need to leave him alone. So he's also worried about being revealed and exposed as well. So that is a good point.
And then now it's time for our guest. We have Africa coming in today. Yes, I need to get a clap.
You have a guest. Yeah, we gotta get a clap. We gotta get a clap emoji. Thanks for coming on, Africa. Seriously. It's a green flag that you hear.
Good evening, everybody.
I love Africa's story, by the way. I want you to know. I mean, this is
I don't, but I think it's so necessary because, I'm not sure how many people we have on that, actually have a spiritual journey that they're on or a relationship with God or what have you. But I do. And so I'm going to go ahead and try to make this as short but as informative as possible because
can I help you out? I'll help you out with if you want to start with the vision board, because I find that really interesting. You want to talk about this?
Yeah, let me start. Let me start out with how we, how the narc sought me out or what have you. So I don't know if you guys have ever heard that, when you're talking to God, he's not the only one that hears you. I feel like Satan has his ears open as well. So he's listening to the things that you're talking to God about. That's what I believe. And he came into my life at a time where I had been single for over 2 years. I had broke it off with my fiance, which was another toxic relationship, which is why I knew what to look for. At any rate, we met in a Christian group. We didn't really meet in a Christian group. I had commented on one of his posts, and then he immediately jumped in my DM and immediately was like, "Good afternoon, how are you?" And I was like, "Good afternoon. I hope you're having a good Friday." I was trying to keep it short because I just, in my head, I'm taking my time. So I'm not trying to talk to anybody. I was single for a purpose. I was single and healing. Anyway, from that day, he was messaging me every single morning. I got a good morning, beautiful. From that day, he, in his head, I was his. We were in a relationship. I wasn't supposed to be talking to anybody else but him. That post that, Jessica, you can put that up now. This message came 2 weeks after he and I started communicating. He was just saying that he loved me beyond what I can imagine in such a short period of time. He was going to share his entire future life with me. And basically, he was just planning to marry me. I mean, he even had started talking about finding a way to retire me within 2 years.
What are your thoughts on these messages, Lee?
I mean, so if you put back the first message real quick, just that this is 2 weeks in.
2 weeks in, I said we started communicating April 28th, and I believe he sent this message like May 15th.
Oh goodness.
May 14th or 15th is when he sent this message to me.
Yeah. So this is clear, like this is like the infatuation stage right there, where they idealize you and they put you on this pedestal. Right now, this is him pedestalizing you, like you're on this pedestal right now. I love you beyond what you can imagine, especially in this short period of time, which is, there's very flaggy right there. Short period of time, but that a lot of times that works because you are lovable. You feel like you're lovable. You feel like you're deserving of love. So why wouldn't somebody love you in this short period of time? You know what I mean? So that's why love bombing works, because you feel like you're lovable. They play on your sense. At first, they play on your self-confidence because you have the confidence enough that knowing that you deserve love. But later on, they stripped it of you. They try to strip their self-confidence from you. I'm prepared to share my entire future life, good, bad, great, blessed, all of that. So he said, he's like good, bad. He dropped it off. He didn't put good, great, blessed. He put good, bad, great, blessed, all that. What's all that mean? I don't see any woman but you. So now you see what I'm saying? You really on a pedestal right here. My complete focus is on you. This is 2 weeks in. You have pushed me emotionally to tap into something I thought I had down. So, woman of God, so you see that space right there. You're definitely 100% on the pedestal. This is him throwing you on the pedestal and just being like, okay, this is you. I'm for you. And this, how soon was this message right here? You were fulfilled.
That was before the other message, actually.
So this is
this was like I want to say about 9 days.
Oh goodness.
Was when he sent this one.
You see this spiritual manipulation is though you are God's glory come to life. You're a destiny come true, a miracle that was orchestrated just for me, and I mean that. In a certain way, you saved my life. Seriously. Woof.
Yes. And I'm going to be honest with you. As soon as I got the message where he was saying, I absolutely love you beyond what you can imagine right now in such a short time, guys, immediately my mind I said to myself and in my own head, I was like, oh my God, I'm being love bombed. That's the very first thing that I thought. But I had been having conversations, praying to God about, my mate and, being ready to settle down and looking for my husband. And I'd already talked to God about the kind of man that I wanted. Yep. And he came in and listen, like I said, we were in this Christian group and I had made a few posts about what I was looking for. And I'm sure he went to my social media page and saw some things that kind of helped him become that man that he knew that I was looking for. Yep. And the first couple of days, he would just randomly message me and say, I got a few questions for you. And then he would ask me, what I wanted a man, what I wanted a mate, just deep questions, like he was really trying to get to know me. But now that I look back on it, and after watching your videos, I realized that he was just trying to be the man that he was trying to mirror what it was that I wanted or needed in a man. When he came into my life, I was ready because I had been single for over 2 years. I was healed. I was whole. And to be honest with you, I wasn't looking for anybody. If somebody was going to come into my life, I was open to that, but I wasn't looking for anything. When he came in, he just came in like this breath of fresh air. I can't even explain it. Like,
yeah.
Every morning I was getting like sweet messages, and like he immediately went into, I know that you're my wife. God told me that when I heard your voice, God told me, this is what he said to me. God told me that I would know my wife after I heard her voice. In the first conversation we had, I knew that you were my wife after I heard your voice. Red flag, yes. Now you see, I got my red shirt on. I don't have a red flag.
Hey, you wear your red. It's kind of like
I don't have a red flag, but I have this red shirt on. And when I tell you guys, I knew this, but the way that he was romancing me, and another red flag was the first couple of conversations we had. He was asking me, about the men that I was talking to before he came along.
Cut him off.
And I was letting him know that I really don't entertain people like that. Like, I don't smile in every man's face. Like, I know that I'm set apart and I'm only created for one man. So I don't entertain a million men and so on and so forth. But we discussed that. And basically what he was saying was that he was saying, well, I feel like if you want to be if we're going to be in a serious relationship. And I'm thinking, I never said I wanted to be in a serious relationship, but I'm letting him lead because he's the man. And I usually am okay with that. But it was the immediately trying to sew me up, tie me down, and pull me off the market. Like, he was just, he was so, he was pushing so hard for us to be in a relationship, like, right away. And I didn't give him my number for 30 days. I let him know in the beginning, I'm not going to give you my phone number. I don't know you well enough. And I know that with your phone number, people can find you. There are things that people can do with your phone number. So I let him know that we could talk via Messenger, but I was not going to give him my phone number till after we'd been talking for 30 days and I got to know him a little bit better.
Yep.
Guys, when I tell you, he had a job interview like the week that we started dating, or not dating, but talking. And he was filling out the application and asked me if he could put me down as his emergency contact.
Oh, he bombing you.
We're the first week in, guys. Yes. And listen, he was like, but you have to give me your social. I was like, I cannot do that. He was like, if you don't feel comfortable giving me your social, I understand that. But he was like, and, he was trying to put me down as his beneficiary for his job insurance and asking me for my information. And I was like, no, you don't have to do that. I almost folded and gave him my phone number so that he could put me down as his emergency contact, because what he probably picked up on is that I am an empath.
Yeah.
When I say I am an extreme empath, I am. And I believe that he picked up on that in me. He saw that in me, because I'm sure I wasn't his first rodeo. I'm almost certain that this is what he does for sport, probably. But he comes in, and not only is he, wooing me with all kinds of stuff, he was just doing so much so fast, like paying to get my car detailed, cash apping me money. He paid for my granddaughter's birthday party. Him and my son like got acquainted somehow, and he was sending my son gas money like every week.
Oh my God.
And Mother's Day, we started talking April 28th. Mother's Day was like the 12th of May or something like that. He sent my daughter like $150 to buy me something for Mother's Day.
And explain too, he sent that.
I didn't tell him about my daughter. He found her.
Right.
I don't know if he went to my page. I had tagged her in a couple of posts on my page, and he went to her page and got in her inbox and told her to send her, cashed out her money to buy me something for Mother's Day. He was just doing so much, and that was something, I'm not gonna lie, it felt good, like to have somebody who I didn't even have to ask, like he's doing everything that I needed him to do.
Yeah.
I guess what kind of spooked me was in June, like the first week of June was the first time he raged. It didn't take long for his mask to fall off.
And how long what period of time was that in June?
It was like June 2nd. No, I take that back, because it was after, when was Father's Day?
Or the period of time between you guys meeting and the rage? Was it
April 28th? I will say about 5 weeks. Okay. 5 weeks in, because it was April 28th. And then it was June, like the 1st of June. So I would say 5-6 weeks was the first time he raged. So we were talking, and like I told you guys, I was telling him about who I was talking to before he came into my life. And I was letting him know that I was having conversations with a family friend, somebody I consider to be like a cousin, because him and my first cousin have the same father. So I would call him sometimes and talk to him about guys and the problems I was having with them. Anyway, I brought him up again, and I mentioned to him, that person was driving me crazy, because he messaged me and asked me, why didn't I wish him a happy Father's Day? Guys, when I tell you, he said, he just went off. He was like, why are you still talking to him? You told me that you weren't talking to anybody, and you said that you were, and I was like, calm down. Like, I'm not saying that we were having a conversation. He just inboxed me and asked me, why didn't I wish him a happy Father's Day? Because he wished me a happy Mother's Day. Yeah. I said, it wasn't even that type of party. I was like, why are you yelling? Guys, he wasn't just yelling, like, there was nothing else for me to call it. And I really didn't know what to call it. I watched your videos, and you mentioned raging. And that is the thing that came to mind when I saw his face. His eyes were dark. His face, he just looked like a monster. You know how the Incredible Hulk looks when he gets mad and he starts to change? Yep. That was the face. That's the only thing I can compare it to. And I was like, calm down. Why are you yelling? He was like, give me his name. What's his name?
Oh, Jesus.
Right now, what is his name? I gave him his name because that was the only way I could get him to like chill. He immediately found this man on Facebook.
Oh my God.
Inboxed him and confronted him about me. Now, mind you, it hadn't even been 2 months. Okay. It hadn't even been 2 months, and you're already like going off with other men. This man and I have been family like for years. Yeah. Like, we've never crossed the line. He's not somebody I would ever date, but the fact that this person was inboxing me, and in the beginning, he was like, he didn't want us talking to anybody of the opposite sex in the inbox and all this other stuff.
But I feel like that's one-sided right there.
It is one-sided, and I will explain to you why here in just a moment.
I feel like it's definitely one-sided. This is typically how it goes.
Why? I mean, he was such a hypocrite. Like, I can't even say like how big of a hypocrite he was. So he comes into my life. He's doing all this stuff. He came down here in June. No, he came down here in July for the 4th of July weekend, and we were having a family reunion. And I think he came and he did it on purpose so that he could get acquainted with the rest of my family. And behind my back, when I left the table that we were sitting at and I went to the bathroom, he and my mom, he like pulled my mom to the side and was telling her that he wanted to marry me, and that, basically he was asking my mother for my hand in marriage. Yeah. On his way to come see me, he drove 8 hours from Atlanta to come see me. And on the way, he stopped in Memphis to take my son to lunch.
He's landing on thick. But you see that man landing on thick. He's just from the beginning of your story to where you are right now. He's became whoever he felt like he needed to be.
Yes, absolutely.
To get you. You see what I'm saying? He love bombing. Like I said earlier, the love bombing is just not for you. It's just not just for you. They got to love bomb the kids, the mama. He love bomb the mama. It's like, hey, look, I'm gonna marry your daughter. You go in the smooth talk.
Even my grandkids. The grandkids, yes, they call him Pop Pop. Like, he started them to calling him Pop Pop. Like I told you, he paid for my granddaughter's birthday party in June.
Africa, just for timeline, how long was this entire relationship?
4 months. I won't even say it was 4 months because I broke up with him August 27th, which the next day would have been 4 months.
So
I blocked him.
When did he make this vision board? Because I find this interesting.
He made the vision. The vision board. Oh my God, guys, that first 2 weeks, he had me on his vision board. He had a picture of me. That's the vision board. That's me up there in the top right-hand corner under love and marriage.
Right next to Jesus.
Right next to Jesus. And the Rolls Royce that he wants to get. He made the vision board. And guys, I want to say we started talking April 28th. It was towards mid-May, the end of May or the beginning of June. He went ring shopping. He made me go and get my ring size. I gave him my ring size and he bought me an engagement ring. And there's video of him at the...
Yeah, I want to share this video with you, Lee.
Yeah, please watch this video.
At the ring shop.
Here we go.
At the ring shop, getting the diamonds tested.
Yeah, this is the video you sent Africa.
Just those diamonds. If it's not a diamond, it's not gonna go anything reading up. Okay. If it's a diamond, the reading of diamond, you see it, it's gonna go up. Okay. Okay. Which one do you test first? This or this? Either one. You tell me. Well, let's do the lab grown diamonds first. You see? Now what the real thing look like? Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And so basically what he was trying to do was show me that I can get you a real diamond. And that's, and in my head, I'm thinking, this is fast.
Like, how long was that? Sorry.
We started talking April 28th and he went to the ring shop like May 25th.
So I love
it wasn't a month.
I love that this comment got highlighted right here because that's what he's doing right there. He's exhausting you with love. You see what I'm saying? He's just trying to exhaust you. And that's the technique.
I would call it was very exhausting. I was overwhelmed because I'm someone who takes it slow in relationships. I don't ever move fast. Like I said, 30 days, you won't get my number until I see what you're about for 30 days. It was him getting acquainted with my grandchildren. And he knows that that's something that's near and dear to my heart because I made it. Everybody knows how I feel about my grandchildren.
He knows.
So when all this stuff was happening, I guess I felt once he started buying rings and stuff, I didn't know how to pull out of that. I didn't know how to stop that because in all honesty, I was like, maybe this is the man that God sent into my life. Maybe I shouldn't, have my wall up like this because what if I'm missing my blessing? Well, in July when he came, he went to church. We went to church, my mom's church and my other family's church. It was like we were doing everything and he was behind my back. Like when I would walk away, like he's showing them pictures of the ring.
Oh, good.
When I walk away, he's showing them pictures of the ring that he bought. And because my aunt was like, so when is the wedding? So when are you gonna marry her? And in my head, I'm thinking, seriously? This is my life too. I just felt like I just got caught up in his, I feel like I don't want to call myself a victim because I've told him on so many occasions, I'm not a victim. I refuse to call myself a victim. But I just feel like I just got so swept up in the whole, he love bombed me to the point where I was like, this is awesome. And I'll be honest with you, after that situation happened in June, after he raged on me and he realized I'm not your perfect version of a woman that you thought that I was, he then began to devalue me. And I felt that. He didn't even look at me the same. Like I felt like I had to work that much harder to get him to do the things that he did so freely in the beginning. I just felt like I was walking on eggshells. I didn't want to make him mad because once he raged, I literally had fear. that he would, of him raging again. So,
I have a quick question for you, Africa. So he was really into your children and being very involved with your grandchildren. How was he with his own children? And he has he has 5
on the vision board?
He has 5 children.
Yeah,
he has 2 ex-wives and 5 children, 4 baby mamas.
Oh goodness.
He has a relationship. He has a 12-year-old and he has an 8-year-old, and by 2 different women. And he has a relationship with them. You know, I won't say he has a relationship with them. Like he has conversations with them. Like he'll talk on the phone with them sometimes or whatever. But his 2 oldest children, the things that he was doing for my children, he wasn't even doing for his 2 oldest children. Like we would have conversations and I would tell him, you know, I know that your children, your relationship with your 2 oldest children are not the best, but you're the adult.
Yep.
And you have to be the one to fix the relationship. If it's broken, if it's severed, or if something's going on, you're the adult. So you need to have conversations. You need to be making the effort to fix that situation. You know what he would say? No, because
no.
all they want is money.
Yeah,
is what he would say to me.
That's pride.
All they want is money. As soon as I call them or text them, they're going to ask me for money, and I'm not giving them money. And I'm like, but they're still your children, though.
Yeah,
and it bothered me because I can't be with a man. You can't love my children before you love your own.
Yeah, but that's what it takes to, if that's what he feel like it takes to get you, that's what he'll do. You know, but you see that all the time though, and a lot. And this is not me trying to be this not towards you, but you see sometimes a lot of people are accepting of that because you weren't desperate. Some people in these situations, in these desperate situations, they'll accept the person that abandons their own kids as long as they're there for my kids. Hey, I don't care what you do to your own kids, but like you nice to mine, I'll take it. And you see that space, you see that happen all the time. I've had that happen so many times in different relationships, like with so many people I've spoken to. Like you're not in that situation, so like you just said, that statement you just made is not. I hear the difference from a lot of people. Just like, well, as long as he take care of my kids, I'm cool. You know, I don't have anything to do with his kids as long as my kids are taken care of. You know,
it's a turn off to me because here it is.
You should be.
I was going to marry this man, guys. I was going to marry him before the end of the year. In fact, I had a trip. We had booked me a flight for September 16th for next weekend to go down there. And I know that he would have talked me into marrying him because that's what he started picking out colors for our wedding, guys.
Oh my
like within 3 weeks.
That's super
The
thick.
first 3 weeks, the colors were picked. He was looking for wedding songs. It was crazy to me because he was serious. Like he was going to marry me. And yes, I was afraid because I realized that, you know, people send their representative at first. And then
yes, they send
once they can't pretend anymore, then all of these skeletons start falling out. I've dealt with that before, so I know what it looks like. But he was so charming and so convincing. If somebody tells you, I'm 46, I'll be 47 in January. And if somebody tells you they want to retire, I want my wife to be retired in 2 years. And after the first couple weeks, he was calling me his wife.
Yep.
You're my wife, my wife, my wife, my wife, my wife. There was no girlfriend. It was never girlfriend. He never called me his girlfriend. He always called me his woman or his wife. There was never a girlfriend title.
What sounds better, wife or girlfriend?
Wife sounds so much better than girlfriend. I don't even like the way girlfriend sounds, but and when we would get into it, he would be like, "You supposed to be my wife. You know, why are you this, that, or the other?" You know, it was. I guess the double standards was the demise of the relationship, and because I picked up on the fact that this man is a narcissist. He would stonewall me. Like if we were having a conversation and I would, like if I overtalked him at any point in time, he would be like, so you're disrespecting me. So I feel disrespected. My feelings are hurt. The first time it happened, he messaged me and was like, I thought we had made up. I thought, you know, I had apologized. He said he forgave me, but then he messaged me out of the blue and was like, you really did hurt me bad this time, sweetheart. I think I'm going to check myself into the VA for a couple of days because he's a veteran. So he was
Yeah.
talking about checking himself into the VA hospital for a couple of days because
Oh,
I
Lord.
overtalked him and I hurt his feelings.
Yeah, I mean, but it doesn't take much to hurt a narcissistic person's feelings, though. So that, could that be true that you hurt his feelings? Yeah, probably. But it
Well,
doesn't take much to hurt their feelings. To be being realistic with you. So, how did it end? How did your relationship? How did it get to the end? Like, what happened at the end?
at the end, okay. So first, let me say this: I know why his mom and his relationship was horrible. He I can't say he hated her, but it
Yeah.
was the closest thing that you could get. She was abusive. She was verbally abusive. She was physically abusive to him. And
I
they just
mean,
didn't have a really good relationship. And then he had to watch her die of cancer.
oh,
And
so
he
he could
told
have
me
absolutely hated her though. He could have hated his mom, but felt obligated to be there for her and to keep her in his life. So that
he
could have happened
did.
too.
He did. And I remember him telling me this, and I don't know, this to me was cold. But after she passed away, he went to the funeral home and he was like, just roll her out here. Don't get her dressed. Just roll her out here. I want to see her without makeup, without any of the other stuff that you're going to put on her. I just want to sit. I just want to look at her just the way she is before you put
That's,
any clothes or embalm her and all this other stuff. And I'm just like,
that's super cold.
that is like they're extremely cold, extremely cold. And he said he saw his mom cheat on his stepfather so many times. And I believe
No.
that's why he has trust issues and issues with women in general. How the relationship ended was one, a few weeks ago, I was at the beauty shop and we were on the phone. Before I got to the beauty shop, we were on the phone, like we always are. He was adamant that we had to go to sleep on the phone together every night.
Oh my God.
We went to sleep together and we woke up together. Because that's the
That
way he
sounds
wanted
cute,
it.
but that's super controlling.
It was very, I believe you.
Yeah.
And when he had me to block the family member said out of his mouth, he was like, I'm going to respect your wishes, but you need to watch that because that is a controlling spirit. That is what he said. But we were on the phone and, I'm like, okay, bye, babe. I'm fixing to get in the chair. Right. Usually he's the first person to hang up. He's always the first person to hang up. He did not hang up, guys. He stayed on the phone the whole 2.5 hours that I was in there listening to the conversation that I was. And you know how we are. Just like when men go to the barbershop, they talk about all kinds of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm sitting here talking to my beautician because she's been my beautician for forever. And we're talking about our situations. And I was telling her about how he gave me the silent treatment for 4 days because I didn't want to talk about something that I told him was upsetting to me. Like I didn't want to talk about that at that moment. So he stonewalled me for 4 days and I told her it was emotional abuse and I was just talking about things. Well, anyway, he stayed on that phone the whole time and listened to our conversation. Not only was he listening, but he was recording on his GoPro.
Oh my God.
And he was writing down things on his notepad. He wrote down like 3 pages of notes from that conversation for him to rage at me about when it was over.
His attack list. Yeah, he made an attack
His
list.
attack list. And I can't tell you how violated. I can't explain the feeling. Nobody's ever done that to me before. So I felt so violated because I'm like, I'm trustworthy. I don't need somebody in my life that's going to be recording my conversations. And then afterwards, he was like, why did you tell her this? And why were you telling her our business? And because he wants everybody to think he's so perfect.
Yeah.
So me putting out that image that he was imperfect was too much for him to handle. So he rages on me. He's asking me, why did you tell her this? Why did you say that? He texted my mother and told my mother that I was in the beauty shop dogging him. And I never said one thing. I said, you recorded the conversation, play it back and point out one time that I dogged you. Because I never dogged you. I basically was telling her the relationship issues that we were having. And I didn't lie one time. So by the time we argued all the way back home, when I got back home, he was still yelling. I said, you know what, let's just stop this. And I asked him, this is how I asked him, just because of your videos, I blame you, Lee. I said, are you going to discard me? I said, are you discarding me? And he looked me in my eyes and he said, yes.
Oh.
He didn't even, there was no hesitation or anything. And you know what I said? I wish you the best. I wish you the very best and goodbye. And I hung up and we didn't talk for hours, right? I'm okay. I'm at peace. That's the first time I hadn't cried after a breakup. Okay. But he texts me later on that evening and his text says, they say I got diabetes because I had made him go to the VA to get checked to make sure that he was okay. And he texts me, they say I got diabetes.
You get it, man. Heartbreak diabetes.
Knowing that I'm an empath and how that would affect me and knowing that would make me call him to check on him. That's exactly what I did, which was a mistake. Okay.
It baited you fishing.
Biggest mistake. But we broke up because I caught him. So he had been paying a lot of attention to one certain woman's page. Like, I'm not insecure, so I don't care about my man liking pics. It's social media. So what? I'm not the only person in this world that I expect from my partner to be attracted to, as long as he's being respectful about it. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. But I had to show him because he was so hard on me about it and about men commenting on my stuff, even going to my pages, following men that were commenting on my stuff, like requesting men that were commenting on my stuff that I didn't even know about until the end of our, whatever it was, fiasco. But 13 hearts, every post that she was posting, I went and screenshotted them all because I knew he would try to flip it. So I confronted him about the screenshots and he was like, oh, this person is somebody, I don't even really know her. She was somebody, friends of somebody else that I know. And it wasn't even like that. I was just trying to get, anyway, whatever the case may be. Yeah. Big Dummy went further and sent me screenshots of their conversation of him saying that he was a super fan of her music and asking her to come out to Atlanta to record more music and all this. Things that he would have crucified me for. Yep. Like he would have burned me at the stake for telling a man that I was a super fan of his music or being in his inbox at all. After he had in the beginning said we weren't supposed to be in the opposite sexes inboxes, we're not supposed to be doing that. But he's doing it behind my back. You were not supposed to be in the opposite sex inbox. Yes. And I figured that out at the end of the day. So he's like, look at her. Why would I choose her over you? And I'm like, first of all, don't start insulting another queen to try to make me feel good. That's what they do, though. But when they get caught up, you get a lot of narcissistic people who attack the other person's looks. They clearly want them, but they just always try to make it seem like you're just being delusional. Like, I'm not even attracted to that right there. How? Like, look at her. She's big, or she's ugly, or she's unattractive, or she has kids, or whatever. She whatever it is to make you feel like you're being to make you feel like you're overreacting. They'll say, you see what I'm saying? And I didn't put up with it. Basically, that's pretty much why it ended, because when I brought that up and he went back to the conversation about me talking to the friend in the inbox, to the family friend in the inbox. He quickly flipped it around on me. And then he was like, well, I didn't say we couldn't talk in the inbox as long as it wasn't. No, that's not what you said. You said at all. Now all of a sudden you want it to fit your narrative. You want everything to work around your narrative and what you want. And he wanted to talk about this situation. We had thought about it a million times since June. And I simply said, I don't want to talk about this again. I don't want to rehash the same thing that we were supposed to have resolved a long time ago. He gets upset with me and he hangs up in my face. I didn't call him back because I wasn't about to argue with him or go back and forth. But the next day, I basically just told him that he was a hypocrite, that, he has issues, that his double standards were just outrageous and I didn't have to put up with that anymore. And I let him know that I wish him the best, that my prayers for him will continue. And, but I told him the emotional abuse stops today. What he said to me was the emotional abuse stopped for me yesterday, which was when we had the argument about the screenshot. And then said, good luck. And I immediately blocked him on all platforms so he can't reach out to me. Oh, nice. Is it? Yeah. Yeah, I am. That's empowering, though. I don't need that. But I know that he was just trying to pull me into an argument. He thought that I was going to say, why are you doing this, and beg him or try to call him. No, I'm not. I've seen enough. I know what you are now.
So how long have you had no contact?
It'll be 2 weeks Sunday, I guess.
Nice.
2 weeks. 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks Sunday. Saturday was when we had the argument, and he started stonewalling, and I told myself I'm not going a week. I'm going to break this right now and let him know that I'm done. You can go find another victim. I pray that he doesn't, but I'm not anybody's victim. I'm a queen, and you're going to treat me as such, or you got to go. I'm not going to put up with that. I don't have to. So
good job for staying no contact, and thanks so much for coming in and sharing your story. I mean,
yes, absolutely. It's been therapeutic, to say the least.
Super thank you for coming on here, like, cause that's big time, like, especially going no contact after that intense love bombing. That is right. Stay strong, Africa, be a rock. So you got a lot of people in the comment section you inspired. That's why I like people. I'm super thankful for you coming here and sharing your story, because like other people have been through very similar things. Because like you got people in the comments that's just like, that's my ex. You see what I'm saying? They just like, you go girl. Block my last one on the 18th. Keep it up. Good job. We definitely love bomb. Thank you, Africa. Just clapping. God's favorite clapping.
Thanks, everybody. And I want you all to stay strong. Like, you know what it looks like. We have intuition, like I told you. As soon as he sent me that message about loving me after like 2 weeks, my intuition immediately told me that I was being love bombed.
Yep.
And I continued to stay for another 3 months. That was crazy to me. That was crazy on my part. But I know the next time something like that happens, to immediately dead that, because you don't have to put up with that. And we all deserve better than that. Nobody deserves to be treated like that, like a doormat. I'm just not going to do it.
Yep. Well, super thankful for you coming on here. Like, seriously, super inspiring. You helped a lot of people. They're super.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, yay. I love it. Africa too. Name it Africa. Like, yay. Seriously, thank you so much for coming on.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you all for inviting me on.
Hey.
I need to get a clapper in here. A clap.
Yeah, we gotta give it a little when you shake and you just clap. I can slap 2 red flags together into the mic.
All right. So then next we have some more voice questions. We still haven't decided, Lee. How long is the show going to be?
I don't know. I just we can do the voicemail question real quick though. But I got to shout out CN too. Super. Thank you for the super sticker. Thank you for supporting the channel and whatnot. Like, seriously, thank you so much for sending that in and whatnot. Seriously, thank you so much. But yeah, we can get a couple of that. Can't talk straight. Another voicemail if you want to. Yeah, we can shoot it in.
Okay, so I have really quick. Last week we had Erica on. She sent in a video question, and I thought this was a really a nice message from her. So I wanted just to play it for you, Lee.
Hi, Lee and everybody. I just wanted to say thank you so much, because I listened to your first show and I heard that you actually played my call. I was the woman who had called about leaving the narcissistic partner and taking a flight mid-vacation. So just to hear that you guys addressed my questions, it's even making me emotional a little right now. Like, it really helps so much with like this whole process of leaving and going no contact. And even when you was explaining like your answers to my questions, and I could see people commenting, that really encouraged me, like the support. I'm sorry. So just thank y'all so much for what you're doing and for putting that education out there. And I really appreciate y'all. And I will be listening in the future. All right. Have an awesome day. Thank you.
That tugged in my heartstrings, y'all. Like, see, that's why I love. I can't. Oh God, get off the camera real quick. Y'all want to maybe get emotional. I don't very normally get emotional, y'all. Like, seriously, I like that. I'm super extremely grateful for every single one of y'all. Like, seriously, y'all. I'm super thankful for Jessica helping me put this thing together. Super thankful for everybody who tuned in tonight. Like, seriously, that means a lot. Like, helping people. You know what I mean?
It feels so good to just bring the awareness and know that people are feeling something.
Yeah, like, it's super extreme. But I think we got one more question. We got
yeah. Okay, so let's see. There's one I wanted to load up. I don't know. Maybe I didn't do it. Okay, I have another one. One second. Let's see.
So I met my son's dad when I was 21. and he was 44. Maybe 4 years into the relationship, he became like a completely different person. He would verbally abuse me. So a few months ago, he, I guess, decided in his mind that he still wanted to dictate my life, even though he left. I've had to give restraining orders. I've had to call the police multiple times. If he can't call me, he'll have his new supplies call me. His new supplies have stalked me online and stalked me in real life and called me from different numbers. The question that I wanted to ask you is, how does he get these women to participate in his stalking and controlling behavior?
It's a good question.
So, first of all, like, y'all please don't take it as disrespect, y'all. 21 and 44, like, I be red flagging it right there. I just don't, yeah, it just don't feel natural to me. If y'all don't know, I know I don't look it when I'm 38 years old. So so I cannot imagine like an 18-year-old girl right now just like, hey, Lee, I love you. Let's be together. I'm like, no. Like, that's red flaggy as hell to me, y'all. Like, I don't mind an age gap relationship, trust me, as long as there's genuine connection. But like, that's just, I always assume manipulation. I just do. You know what I'm saying? It's always a power dynamic. It just blows my damn mind because like in this situation, what she just said, she was like, well, even if he left me for somebody else or whatever, he still trying to control my life because he think you're a little girl. He sees you as you young enough to be his damn daughter. So he just sees you as his little girl that he can control and manipulate and still be there for. In the new supplies, you have to find a vulnerable person or a person that's super codependent on you and love bomb the hell out of them to get them to do your dirty work. Because honestly, that's pathetic. Like, being realistic. Like, for me to love bomb you and have you reach out harassing my ex that you don't know is objectively pathetic. You see what I'm saying? You have to get somebody who's in a vulnerable state to be able to be willing to do that. It's just, hey, look, my ex treated me so horribly that I can't love you completely until I get rid of her. And then you harass them for them. Like, that's the only way that person has to be easy to manipulate and also in a love bombing phase, because normal people wouldn't do that. Like, you want me to call your ex and say what? You want me to you want me to talk shit to him? Why? Why am I doing this? Oh, because it hurt your feelings? Oh, huh. You see what I'm saying? You have to have a certain type of mindset for that to allow that to happen. That just blows my mind, y'all. That's just me being realistic right there. You have to have a certain type of mindset to just be like, I'm gonna abuse your ex for you, honey. That's weird. So that's why that happens sometimes, y'all. Yeah. That blows my mind.
Well, I have a love bomb example I wanted to share.
Yeah, personal love bombing, y'all. Personal love bomb. It's like, it's like I don't want to make it. This is like she got a love bombing vest on. She about to blow it up. She just walked in here she just walked in. She's like, and she's about to blow it up. Like, so this is Jessica's own like real life. Jessica is a thriver, so she's gonna share her own real life love bombing situation, y'all. Love bombing scenario. So y'all, self clap it up for Jessica and throw some red flags up in the comment section for Jessica.
So when we were together for about 5 months, I would say, before our first Valentine's Day, and for Valentine's Day, our first Valentine's Day, he gave me this card where he made it himself, a very nice. I even cut out the card or the hearts on construction paper, and really nice long message. How much he loves me and how I'm the, let's see. Jess, I love you. You're playful yet determined approach and leave. Chime in whenever. To life inspires me. The way you look at me makes me feel understood. When I can slow down enough to look back into your eyes, I get lost in your depth. I feel like I can see your soul. It loves me, so full of love. And I love you more than I have loved anyone.
Oh, so he said it loves me, like your soul loves him.
Yes.
Oh,
So full of
interesting.
love, yeah. I have loved no, wait, and I love you more than I have loved anyone. Nothing
Oh,
makes me calmer than your skin next to mine. Nothing makes me more excited than you climbing on me. I have never felt so accepted. I love the way we play together. I admire your ability to use humor in everyday life and how you laugh at life's absurdities. Being with you feels completely satisfying, like I have everything I could ever want. Your steady, consistent love is helping me be open to even more love with you. Our love is so big that it blows my mind to think it is still growing. I am deeply grateful for you. I love you with everything I've got forever. Him.
so this is 150 days into the relationship, y'all, and he's already seeing her soul. You know,
Yes.
I it seemed like it took God longer in the Bible to see some people. You know what I mean, to read some people, but like in that space right there, did you see like your tried to? This is a love letter from you, from him to you.
Mhm.
He describes in it how your soul loves him. You know what I'm saying? How many, it's just little subtle things, and it's just like a little seed, like
Mhm.
a little droplet into the ground. It's like bleep. Your soul loves me too. It looks back at me. Your soul is staring at me. Like he made it sound like your soul had like some Louis Vuitton shades on. It's just like looking at him, like touching him. Like I love you too. You know.
Well, I can tell you my Valentine's Day card that I gave him that year was just a store-bought card and a couple, sentences, just, like, "I love you and, I'm happy to be with you," type of thing. That
Because you
was my
weren't there yet, because you weren't like your soul hadn't really seen his yet. You know, he said he said it did, but in that space right there. So show that you see that space right there. So show them the next card that he
this
sent you
this is Valentine's Day a year later.
a
It
year
was a
later.
store-bought card, and then, the message is much smaller,
So
and it says well, first off, the card itself says, "I
you
love you.
may
You are my universe. Happy Valentine's Day." And then he wrote, "Just like the universe, my love for you is endless and always expanding. I love you more and forever, and I am eternally grateful for your love always."
and you see how short and sweet to the point that was right there. You mean like would you see how? But it's kind of symbolic what you just said. Your first Valentine's Day card to him
Mhm.
was you weren't there yet, and you
Right,
see how his love went from here to down here.
right.
He went from where he was originally to where you were originally 5 months in. You know, yeah.
Contrast, my Valentine's Day card
Mm-hmm.
this year was the opposite.
But
It was still a store-bought card, but it was more meaningful, and I made a very, a longer
yeah.
note, and it had
So
more
but you
stuff.
also see in that space right there, the first one made it seem is symbolic because typically when you cut it out when you cutting out hearts and stuff like that, it's to
Mhm.
send like a ransom note. It's just like people are sending ransom notes like drop like, hey, it's the kidnappers. It's the kidnap. It's the I kidnapped your heart. Drop the ransom in the trash can on Fifth Street. That's that's kind of
Honestly,
what he
I
did.
felt guilty when I got this card. I was like, "Well, I didn't do enough," I felt, like, kinda guilty, like
Yeah, because like and also, but like you said, you feel kind of guilty, but also he dropped it in there to make you feel like you loved him more than what you actually did. He said your soul loves him back. He
yeah.
could like you see, it's just little stuff like that I noticed. He's like, your soul looks at me and loves me too. And like, how you know my have you talked to my soul? Have you? You know my you so you my you know my soul, right? It's just like
Mhm.
and it's in that it's in that space right there. But like, yeah, but you see how when they're trying to get you, they go all out. But when they feel like they have you, it's kind of like, yeah, you're my universe. I'm orbiting around you, and I'm expanding. You know,
Right,
what else expands? Balloons, and they pop.
and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
So, I'll share
Yeah.
that story one day, but for now, there's a little bit of
No, so thank you for sharing your actual real life example of love bombing, and you said how like the love bombing. It wasn't necessarily the evaluation, but it's like less. It's less than.
right.
You go when you go like I always feel like narcissistic relationships with narcissistic people, it's kind of like the Benjamin Button relationship. They start off at a high point. They start off at the best they're gonna get, and they just kind of go downhill from there. It's just like, hey, I'm 60. They just go downhill and get younger and older at the same time. Yeah,
Well,
your
yeah,
relationship ages in reverse. It starts at a peak and it just goes downhill from there. Instead
right.
of instead of gradually building to that peak. You know,
Yeah,
how it normally goes.
Now I can see that clearly now, where before it was very blurry.
It's always blurry. You know, it's like even when you wear glasses, it gets blurry when you're in it. You know, it's just kind of like you ever see this, like Spider-Man when he like when he first got bit by the spider, he couldn't see when he put his glasses on. Like I can see better without my glasses. You know, bugs are attracting my light, yeah. But yeah, shout out to Jessica for sharing her like real life story. Somebody say he want to take you to pound down. You hear it's just like your skin next to mine is just makes me glow. Like clapping cheeks.
Well, that's my favorite video of the week that I'd like to share too.
Oh yeah, should it. Favorite video of the week, y'all. Jessica's favorite video.
Favorite video of the week.
Get ready with me to do a toxic narcissistic workout. First thing you want to do is get rid of your blanket, take your washcloth and wipe away all the accountability. Fresh face. The next thing you want to do is your finger exercises. So grab your phone, text all your new supplies that you love them, you miss them, and that they're the most special person in your life. Now that's a good finger exercise. The next thing we do is work on our balance. You have to have balance to keep all your lies straight, don't you? Duck underneath the accusation and rise above the accountability. There you go. Next, we're going to work on our agility. You got to be agile if you want to keep all your lies straight, don't you? In and out, in and out. Up, flip the script on them. Now it's their fault. In and out. Got to stay nimble, don't you? Next up, blame deflection box jumps. You blame them and then you jump over the accusation. Blame them over the accusation. The louder you yell and the higher you jump, the more you get away with. Now I'm burnt out right here. One more for good measure. It's your fault, not mine. I call this right here boundary jumping. When all else fails, jump over a boundary and threaten to leave. But you're only pretending to leave. You come back, act like you forgot something, and be willing to listen. You sure you want to break up with me? Next up, we're working on our flips. Gotta be ready for those mental gymnastics, right? That was some good gaslighting, but this one right here, ooh, that's a lot better. Mental gymnastics keep the other person guessing. Like and follow for more types of workouts.
What was that flip? That was so impressive.
It's a no-handed cartwheel. I've been doing it for so long. And behind the scenes story, I actually did the reason I did the cartwheel first because the second one was like a cartwheel backflip, but I didn't land it and I hurt my ankle. And I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna try it again. And I set the camera up right, and then I was backing up to get a running start, and I fell into my wife built this fire pit in the backyard. I tripped over a lawn chair and fell into the fire pit, and I was like, you know what? That's God telling me not to do this backflip. So I did the cartwheel to say it because it's easier. I was like, guys, don't do this backflip. And I scraped my leg up and everything. I was just like, yeah, I'm just do the cartwheel and just keep moving. So yeah, that definitely did happen. Definitely scraped my leg up, giving y'all the toxic narcissistic workout. Quick sidebar. Somebody actually thought the voice I use in those videos. People thought it was my real voice. And there was a comment on it. Somebody shared the videos like my narcissistic ex had a little high pitched voice like this too. I'm like, you know that's a fake voice, right? Like no, that's not how I really sound. It's like, hey guys, get ready for me to start the toxic narcissistic workout. That's how I talk, being funny. You know what I mean? That's not my real voice. But yeah, anyways. So.
That is a familiar voice though. I can see why they're saying it.
Well, just their voice right there. Just
yes.
like, hey guys, get ready with me to do a toxic narcissistic workout. Part 2 is coming next week, y'all. I had to film it in the actual gym, so bringing y'all gym content seriously. So we're gonna wrap this up, y'all, by doing like a rapid fire. We're gonna do some questions, y'all. So if y'all have any questions, we have a few that we're gonna answer super quickly. But like I said, if y'all have any questions, drop them in the chat. Like I said, thankful. So, love the shirt, Lee. Yeah, I'm loving. So yeah, so I'm loving. So Elizabeth says, why does a narcissist say so many inconsistent things? Literally polar opposite comments. For example, one of our last conversations, he said, I'll always be there for the kids, but not you. But that ship sailed. And then a few more texts into the conversation, he said someone had to stay on the phone with me all day because I was going to do something really bad to myself. He didn't come home for weeks on end. No promise of return. Is that delusional? How self-aware is he? He's self-aware of manipulating you. I truly believe he's self-aware of knowing that he's being horrible to you. And in that situation right there, because the polar opposite stuff keeps you guessing, keeps you on edge, makes you feel guilty. Hey, you know what? You treated me so badly. I don't even know if I want to wake up tomorrow. I'm gonna fucking take this green flag and I'm gonna stuff it in my throat. I'm not gonna be able to breathe. It's gonna be your fault. I'm gonna run my Subaru into a tree, and it's gonna be for you. It's gonna be your fault. That's manipulation, y'all. Like seriously, it's just like, you know what? I thought about it, and I'm gonna tie a brick to my foot and jump off the bridge. Yeah, it's just like, yeah, I'm seriously like, they want to make you feel guilty. Just like, I'm gonna take care of the kids, but not you. They're trying to make you question your self-worth. Like, that's an evil person. Like, I be struggling to find good words to describe some narcissistic people, but evil is the best word sometimes, y'all. Seriously. Kim says, why does the covert narcissist always talk down to me and bring up everything negative about me? But when I do it to him, he's always too sensitive. Double standards. Double standards exist. You don't get to do what I get to do. Like, and what I do to you carries more weight because I'm more important in this relationship than you are. And it's super covert, like, I can be subtle with it. I can just say, I don't have to yell at you and say it. I'm just like, you know what? Damn, girl, like, you know what? That no, those pants, little, no. I'll just say you've been eating good lately. You know, something like that. They don't have to be loud to be mean to you. You don't have to scream and yell to be mean to you. They can just say, you know, you don't move like you used to. Something like that, y'all. It's just evil. Do narcs enjoy feeling the feeling of guilt? Hell no. I hate feeling guilt. I be trying. Most narcissists shake the guilt off and blame you for it. It's just like, shake it off. You mean it's just like, don't Taylor Swift have a song like that? Like, shake, 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 something like that. Shake the shake the devil off or something like that. You want to shake the guilt off. Like, narcissists don't like to feel guilt, y'all. They the mental gymnastics happen. Like, you see that cartwheel I just did in that video? They do that in their minds and blame you. Somehow I feel guilty for what I did, but then all of a sudden it flips back onto you.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining the show tonight. We'll answer more questions next week. Lee, do you have any other things you want to
No,
say?
so I feel like, so y'all, thank y'all for tuning in tonight, y'all. Like, seriously, super thankful for y'all coming in here, like, dropping the questions and whatnot. Thank y'all for the donations and whatnot to the channel as well. We'll be live next week. Like, if y'all want, we'll decide the topic tonight, tomorrow, y'all. But if y'all want to send in the questions and, like I said, and whatnot, to be on the show, like, seriously, you can shoot the voicemail. The voicemail number is scrolling across the bottom of the screen, and the email is waving the red flag show at gmail.com. Y'all know we just getting this started. We're just getting the show started. We're just trying to get the schedule straight, the format straight. You know what I mean? Trying to condense it down a little bit more, I guess. I don't know. If y'all have any suggestions, y'all can. If you have a suggestion for the show, send it to waving the red flag show at gmail.com. Like, seriously,
Does it feel too long? That's a question. Does it feel too long? Would you guys like it to be longer?
No, for me, like I said, if you ask me, I think it's perfectly. I feel like, what can I change? No, we'll talk. But but like, seriously, y'all, I enjoy. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Like, I'm super thankful for all of y'all. Like, seriously, next week we'll be back here, same red flag time, same red flag place. Yes. Like, seriously, super thankful for y'all.
Thank you.
If y'all want to send us some green flags too, we green flag it as well. If y'all also want to be on the show, like I said, you don't have to. You don't. Y'all see how Africa came on and showed her face? You don't have to show your face, y'all. You can send a voicemail in, or you can come on the show and ask the question. If your question is quick, you can ask the question too. Like, hey, like, I like to be on the show to ask this question. You ask the question and not show your face. We don't like. I'm all about privacy and protection because I know how dangerous some of these toxic, narcissistic bastards can be, y'all. So if you want to come on the show and just like, I'd rather ask my question on live to help other people on live on the point, you can do that as well. Or, like I said, you can send a voicemail question. And I like doing the voicemail questions as well because, like, sometimes I don't. Sometimes Jessica listens to the voicemails and she shot me with them. Like, a couple of those, I was just like typing in the background, like, But like, I enjoy that, y'all. But like, seriously, I'm super thankful for y'all. I'm super thankful for Jessica as well, y'all. Y'all can follow her if you want to drop your information on here, Jessica, for them to follow you. You know what I mean? As well, y'all can check out Jessica's all her social media platforms as well. We got some big things coming up in the future. So thank y'all for tuning in. April, thank you for sharing the email. Always love for Miss April Morgan, one of my faves. Remember, it's not about you. I listen to this when I'm at work. It's the first thing I really. Oh, yay! Thank you so much. First time you really commented. Feel comfortable, y'all. I want y'all to feel super comfortable and whatnot. Say somebody already shooting emails to this for the show next week. my watch is going off, y'all. People already shooting emails in for the show next week. So this is Jessica's info for everything, y'all.
That's my YouTube, and then Jessica D Montez, or if you type in Jessica Montez on Instagram, it should pop up.
So just drop the baby and just type in Jessica Montez everywhere. Y'all can check her stuff out, y'all. But seriously, y'all, thank you for tuning in tonight. I'm super. I want to be able to call in, y'all. So I'll probably be live throughout the week, y'all. Just randomly live throughout the week. So I'm gonna have some more like little random. I don't. This one is planned every Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Should I say 6 p.m. first? I feel like this sounds better. I hate going backwards. I feel like it's counting backwards when I say 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. Is Pacific?
Yeah, Pacific.
6 p.m. Pacific.
Mm-hmm.
So next week, Thursday, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be live again, y'all. The topic will be out tomorrow. I'll put it out tomorrow morning. Like I said, the more y'all share it, like, share, comment. You mean if y'all want to donate to the channel to keep it moving forward straight as well, that helps too, though, y'all. So thankful for the donations came in tonight. Seriously, super thankful for y'all. Grateful, blessed. Seriously, shooting it.
Supporting each other.
See, y'all see. For now, you doing it. I don't know. What's Mountain Time? Is that Central? Is Mountain the same as Central?
It's I don't know. Honestly,
I think Central is one. So like, see, 10:30 here on the island. See, are you in Vancouver? Oh, it's 10:30. Where you at, April? I thought you was on the West Coast. Huh? So
8:30 and then 9:30.
I'm gonna just put the time on here. Y'all type it into Google. Say what is 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, my time, where I'm at. Because like y'all about to confuse me because somebody's in Mauritius and in Berlin and everywhere. So Mountain B7. See, Janelle said B7. So y'all, Newfoundland, Canada. So there you go. So she's in Canada. So support us everywhere, y'all. Super thankful for y'all. Be on the lookout. Like seriously, thank y'all so much. Like y'all. This is out. Peace. Waving the red flag with your favorite self-aware narcissist.